is that this is an epidemic and it's unacceptable in America. And so we're doing all we can to work for database solutions to these problems. Today's event is called Wear Orange. We will join 180,000 people across the country who are also wearing orange because we want to honor the survivors of gun violence, and we also want to bring awareness to this uniquely American problem. So that's why we're here. We'll have a variety of speakers, we'll have music, we'll have poetry, people of all ages. It's a family-friendly event, and we want people to come on out and see how they can get involved to work with us and help end this problem.
And how long are you going to be here today?
We're going to be here until 10:30.
Okay, Franklin, you have your marching orders. The sky is overcast, but the souls and spirits of what's going on today are going on. Please come down, support this organization. Okay, next we have, is it Ronnie or is it Nancy? Who wants to speak?
So we're volunteers, we're part of the organization, but I think it would be great to have our elected officials speak because they have been behind this. They signed a proclamation declaring Wear Orange, well, National Gun Violence Awareness Day. They've been incredibly supportive, so I'm happy to defer to the...
Okay, we're going to go right down the line.
Yeah, okay. So I'm involved with legislation and elections.
Okay, I appreciate your help and your support. Thank you. Okay, and now Nancy, tell us.
So today, this weekend is in honor of a young woman who was murdered in 2013 after she performed at Obama's second inauguration. It was just weeks after, and her family started this by wearing orange because orange is what hunters wear to protect themselves when they are hunting. So this is her birthday, would have been her birthday weekend, and so every year on the first weekend of June we have National Gun Violence Awareness. And as Ronnie said, there's proclamations by our elected officials in all different counties and towns that support our efforts.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. And the next person I'd like to speak with is Kim Banks, a good friend whose son Samad on New Year's Eve, how many years? 2019, was violently gunned down. And Kim is so involved in this organization as well as her own, not only to keep the memory of her son alive, but to help other mothers cope if they're going through this and do what she can do so that it doesn't happen to another mother. Kim, tell us.
Good morning. My son was killed here, like you said, on December 31st, 2019. In the interim, I've decided to turn this negative into a positive and pour back into the community, the same community that Samad grew up in. I started my nonprofit, One Family, One Fight, with the intention first of just having events to bring the youth together because he was allegedly murdered by people that went to school with him. So because it was a ripple effect in the town, everybody knew everybody. I began with that, and then now I've decided to switch focus. I'll be giving away a scholarship in his honor, and I also will be partnering with another pastor, some coaches in town, and we're trying to build a mentorship program and basketball league.
And I understand there's an event tomorrow as well. Tell us about that.
Yes, so during Gun Violence Awareness Month and Wear Orange Weekend, we will hold the Samazi Frazier Legacy 5K Run and Walk. It'll be at Colonial Park. It starts at 7:30 a.m. and we'll be there all day, but this year we added on the Legacy House Music Festival, so we'll be there from 12 to 7 with that.
Okay, that's another opportunity, Franklin, for you to show your support. If you don't make it here in the next half an hour, you have all day tomorrow at Colonial Park to meet up with Kim Banks and to contribute in any way you can, even if it's just your moral support, to be here, to support this organization. Next, thank you, Kim. Next, we have Ms. Chanel Robinson, a name to be reckoned with from here to eternity, who is the first African-American woman ever to hold the position of commissioner in Somerset County. And Chanel, obviously, always a true supporter of women.
We're at the Commissioner Board, do support this rally and this gathering, in addition to awareness and education on gun violence. as Ms. Banks mentioned, that right here in Franklin alone, I remember that evening so well. It was literally a block away from my home. And so with the recent violence, gun violence against the taxi cab driver, we do need to continue the fight. Our kids deserve more, deserve better. And because of people like the Moms Demand Action and Ms. Banks and elected officials that supports this, we can get it done. So we continue to fight.
Well, again, we so appreciate your support, as usual. And next we have Ms. Melanie Morano, who is also a commissioner in Somerset County. Melanie, tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
I'm here to support moms like Kim who have endured senseless violence that can be solved through sensible gun regulation. So we're here to support, as Ms. Robinson said, our director, the whole commissioner board supports Moms Demand Action and all that they're doing, and our hats go off to you all for raising awareness, continuing to bring this to the forefront, and thank you for all that you're doing here today.
Well, as women, we must stand. We must stand for not only our children, but our friends' children and your children, Franklin. Here is also Mayor Dr. Philip Kramer. Tell us about why you're here today.
The gun violence has to end. It's a plague on our society, and we need to attack it from every different direction, not only with the laws, but as we are doing in Franklin, we have a youth center, we have police outreach, we're getting a command bus for the police so that they can do more outreach, and we need to train people that there are other ways to handle your problems and get rid of this gun violence. It's just a blight on our entire nation.
I agree. And as head of our community, we certainly appreciate that you support an organization such as this, as well as so many of the other organizations that are within your charge. I'd like to go back just for a second to Lisa. Where are you? How does somebody become involved in this organization if they would like to volunteer or they would like to donate? What do they do?
Okay. So there is a website, momsdemand.org, where people can go online and just see what we're doing and what's happening in all different parts of the country. And a quick way is actually to text READY or JOIN to 64433. You'll hop onto our local mailing list and we'll start sending you emails and updates.
Okay. So again, just repeat that website.
momsdemand.org or text 6443. Text READY to 64433. We'd love to have you.
And if someone wishes to donate financially, how do they do that?
Well, the donations would go through every town for gun safety. And so if you go to the momsdemand.org website, you can find out how to donate.
Okay. There you have it, Franklin. If you can't be here in person and if you can't attend the event tomorrow, which you should be able to attend tomorrow, it's an all-day event in Colonial Park, beautiful place to gather to do the right thing, then you have these addresses that you can donate further. It's all of our issue, Franklin. These are our kids. This is our community. The gun violence has to stop, and this is an organization working tirelessly to help that happen. We thank you for tuning in, Franklin. This is PJ Parker, Franklin Reporter and Afternoon, Franklin Township. This is PJ Parker, Franklin Reporter and Advocate. I told you we'd be back. And we are right now outside of St. Matthias Church on JFK Boulevard, and for the annual car wash sponsored by our Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, Boy Scout Troop 154, Cub Scout Pack number 195, and we are joined today with Sean Hubbs, who is the committee chair of this event, and so many more committee events that have to do with the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. Also, Tim Beloff, who is the current Cub Master, and he is, from what I understand, moving up to Troop 154 for the Boy Scouts, and moving into his position is Reverend Jamin Powell from the Community Baptist Church, who we are so thrilled is going to be a part of this. I know he's got two adorable little boys who I see running around doing this car wash, washing and wiping and just being a part of it. So tell us, Sean, about this event, what people need to do, what they need to know about, how long it's going on, how much it's going to cost, and where the funds are going.
So the event's been going on since 2007, so I believe it's year 15 or 16. We've been doing it for, since about 15 years. So what it is we basically do a car wash every year to fundraise, to build funds for different events that we plan, for activities, for the older boys it's for summer camp purposes, for the little guys it's for activities, for program, for just anything that we may need throughout the year. The price is $10 for cars, SUVs and trucks are $15, but any additional donation is more than welcome. Currently, we are here today from 10 to 3, so we're here till 3 o'clock today. And then, yeah.
Suppose it rains.
If it rains, we have another date coming up in the next couple months. I believe August we're looking for to do one. So we'll get you a rain check, and you come back, and we'll get you then.
Okay, suppose it rains 5 minutes after you got your car washed.
Second car wash.
Come see Sean Hubbs if you need a second car wash today. This is a more than generous event, Franklin. A car wash elsewhere is going to be much more expensive. And with this donation, it is a donation to do good works for young men in this community. I think, do we have girls yet?
We have a few in the pack, and they're, we're still building to get the girls within the older ranks. But right now with the Cub Scouts, we have some younger. What year are they, Tim? The girls in the pack? They're third graders, I believe. I think we have one third grader and one second grader.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're getting there, Franklin girls.
Keep coming.
Anyway, it's a great event. There are lots of cars pulling up here who are so happy they're getting their cars washed and that they can contribute to an event that is helping the youth of Franklin Township. Now, I understand there's a partnership here with St. Matthias.
Yes, so St. Matthias is our charter organization. They charter both units. They give us the space to meet. They support us in almost any way that we need them to, and they're always here. Father Abraham is always open to helping us out, whatever we need, even if it's a last minute, or if it's just we have something big we want to do. He's open to let's talk about it, let's discuss it. That's what they're there for. But they're sponsors. They sponsor us both. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, we appreciate his presence in this effort, and we're going to be chatting with Pastor Jamin Powell, who is also quite a force in ministry in Franklin Township, and thrilled to have him involved in this youth effort. But first, let's talk with Tim Beloff, the outgoing Cub Master. What are you going to be doing in your new position?
So I'm going to be the outgoing Cub Master this year. My younger son is finishing up with Cub Scouts the spring of next year. So I'm going to finish up with him and move on with him to Troop 154. As of right now, I'm a committee member with 154. Possibly once both my sons are with 154, I can look at possibly being an assistant scoutmaster or get a little bit more involved. I'm also a merit badge counselor, so I can work with the scouts on getting a merit badge. It's just I've learned a lot as Cub Master. I went all the way through the ranks with my boys in Pack 195. It's a great pack, and we're moving on now. And I feel very comfortable leaving the Cub Master role with Reverend Powell here. He's already a den leader. He has been for a few years. He's doing an amazing job. So it's really good that he's going to be stepping up to take over for me.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate the service that you have afforded so far with the Cub Scouts Pack 195. Now, let me ask both of you, if you have a young man or maybe a young woman who wants to be a part of this organization, how do they do that?
So they can contact me at 908-413-3695. For 6th grade and above is for older scouts. For the younger scouts, it is up to 5th grade. So then you would contact Tim or Jamin otherwise. But for older scouts, if you're interested in having your scout come out, we meet Friday nights 7 to 8:30, sometimes 7 to 9, right here at St. Matthias. But yeah, if you have any questions, contact me.
Okay, you got it, Franklin. And now, Mr. Reverend. Yeah. And Austin and Preston are a very important part of this position that you've assumed, yes. Reverend Jamin Powell of Community Baptist Church, new Cub Master.
Well, I mean, I have huge shoes to fill. Tim has done an incredible job. I think scouting is an awesome opportunity to give young men and women some life skills that they're going to take with them for the rest of their life. I'm just glad to be a part of it, and prayerfully can do as good a job as Tim has done and all those who come before me. With 2 young children in Scouts, I'm going to kind of follow with them all the way up, and it's really interesting and exciting to watch them grow.
To watch them grow in an environment where they're taught to be citizens, not just to go out and play baseball, which I adore, Franklin. Do not misunderstand that comment. But to learn about life skills, to learn about giving back, to learn about being a part of a community that's larger than you are. And that's what these gentlemen, now Reverend Jamin Powell, who's a part of the organization, as well as Tim Beloff, and of course Sean Hubbs. This is the heart and soul of the administration of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts in Franklin Township, a very viable, worthwhile organization deserving of your donations. And today, come get your car washed or your van or your SUV. Between $10 and $15, the funds go to support this activity and the growth of the young men and some young women in Franklin Township. Just today until 3 p.m. at St. Matthias, right outside the school. There you have it, Franklin. PJ Parker.